Comic fam, make sure to leave a comment and like down below. It's going to enter you to win this copy of Thor #1 by the king of comics himself, Jack Kirby. Enjoy the conversation. Yo, comic fam, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm your host, Comic Tom, and this is the Bags and Boards Show, your daily dose of comic book themed content. You're going to want to hit that subscribe button, especially when you find out who's on the mic today with me. I got Nick from the best comic book app that exists on the market. If you go to the description, you can download it and make sure to use that code TOM101 to support the show and get yourself a free week of Key Collector Comics. I got Nick on the line. How you doing, brother?
Hey, how you doing, Tom? Thank you for having me on the show today.
Dude, I don't remember you wearing glasses.
Oh, these are spectacles, Tom. We're going to do some speculating about the Marvel Universe and where they are going in the next 2 or 3 years based on what we saw from the Super Bowl.
Ooh, oh my gosh. The cringe factor is really high, but that's how you know we're excited about what we just saw. I think it's an understatement to say that things have never been like this as it pertains to superhero franchises hitting the screen, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's a sustained cultural phenomenon of movies and interconnected TV, and they're really building a massive mythology for characters that we've loved for decades.
So I want to go over some comic books to speculate on and the future of the MCU as we currently know it. Let's kick this off with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're talking about Captain America, issue number 333, the first appearance of John Walker as Captain America.
Right, and John Walker, we saw clips of a Captain America walking through a football field, high-fiving people. That could be John Walker. That could be other Captain Americas, but we assume it's John Walker because we also have seen a photo leak of John Walker, and he's wearing a Captain America outfit, and he's got the Captain America shield, which upset a lot of people. But the world needs a Captain America, especially after the blip in this post-traumatic time when the Avengers are fractured and nowhere to be found. Captain America is a person of comfort and security, and that's why they are using this character.
It's like a symbol of hope. I mean, we have no Tony Stark. We don't have Steve Rogers. Thor is on a different freaking planet or in outer space altogether. So the society needs a symbol of security, even if Sam Wilson was originally picked for the task. And we're going to get into Sam Wilson in a little bit. Why don't we chat about Baron Zemo, Nick?
Yeah, take a look at Captain America 275. It's Baron Zemo. He's wearing his classic red hood, and we know that we're going to see him in that mask because we've seen some photo leaks. But it's interesting that he's going to be in this series because of some footage that we saw in that preview, because of what else he is known for.
He's known for establishing a group of villains to form a team. Right now, we're seeing a theme with this show. It seems like it's going to be about global security on our home front, you know, within the planet Earth, and then intergalactic as well. Like, how do we protect ourselves from threats? That brings us to two different teams, and you kind of just alluded the first one.
Well, with the Thunderbolts, I mean, there's going to be a new team. The world is going to want a new team of protectors, and with Baron Zemo being the one that brings them together, this new team, the Thunderbolts make sense. And it also makes sense because we've seen the logo for Sword that this intergalactic division protectors is going to show up. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah, we saw the logo, so we were expecting them, but seeing further speculation take place, mostly because of Sam Wilson's anger. You can tell that this guy isn't happy and that his country is choosing a different direction to go than what Steve Rogers was recommending.
Well, yeah, Sam Wilson was supposed to be a successor. I don't think it's a point of pride. I think that what they might be doing is rushing this situation where a lot of these teams have been brought together organically and by Nick Fury, who is an expert. But this team of Thunderbolts, I don't know if they're going to be giving John Walker the super soldier serum and he's going to go wacky, but it will be seen soon enough.
I do find the next show to be the most intriguing. You know, we're talking about WandaVision. This show looks crazy, and we saw a handful of different shots during this very short. Dude, this ad was like 30 seconds long, man.
It's crazy how much you could pick up from just what little we saw. I mean, we're going to be introduced to new characters, and then this is supposed to connect us to Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. So we can make the assumption that the Scarlet Witch or Wanda is going to be dipping into some areas that she might not be very familiar with to get done what she wants as her goal in life.
Like creating her own children? What? Okay, we're talking about Vision and Scarlet Witch, issue number 12.
What we've always been speculating on is going to happen. I mean, you have the cribs, right? The two cribs.
Did you notice the bee?
Yeah, the bee on the wall for Billy. And Billy is, later on in the comic books, in Young Avengers, we meet this character named Wiccan, who is Billy Kaplan. But, when they retconned this whole thing, it actually turned out to be the Scarlet Witch's child, who was introduced as a baby in this issue number 12. But she had twins, right? So she had twins. The other one was Speed, who was a lot like Quicksilver. That's his uncle. This is the direction that they appear to be going in.
Nick, like, how good did you feel when you saw those pacifiers fly up into the air? I felt like months of speculation were just validated.
Right. And really, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we see that she's going to be in the 60s. There's a scene in the 70s, the 80s. Then, so these worlds that she is creating for herself, I would think that they would be crumbling around her because she's not supposed to be doing this. Like, she's taking this, trying to get after this goal that she has, but she's got to be dipping into magic that is going to be a real problem, which is where I think Agatha Harkness is going to enter the scene.
Ooh, Agatha Harkness. Dude, we're talking about the potential casting of Catherine Hahn, one of my favorite characters in Parks and Rec. It makes so much sense now that this is playing out. We got to throw Fantastic Four right on the screen.
Yeah, Fantastic Four 94. It's the first appearance of Agatha Harkness, who is a witch, and she's going to be monitoring what's going on. It makes sense because Wanda is going to be getting into some pretty dark stuff, maybe some black magic and maybe some opening up of portals. But it's going to need somebody to stand in because Wanda, she's losing it. She's losing it because she can't get what she wants.
Wasn't there an issue where they were incorporating a Halloween theme? Because I remember us talking about them casting for like trick-or-treaters at one point.
Vision and Scarlet Witch number 1. And so this is from the other series, the 1982 series. And it starts off in a suburban setting. It's Halloween, and this character, Sam Hain, enters the scene. So we've heard that there could be this Sam Hain character. We've heard Mordred, the Mystic. We've heard Cathan. We've heard these scary characters. And remember, Feige said that this is going to have elements of horror to it. So we will see some of these creatures entering from whatever doorways that she's opening up, that Doctor Strange will probably have to close in the sequel to his movie, The Multiverse of Madness.
But Nick, the community may be going, wait, Agatha Harkness, she's older. There's no way that Catherine Hahn is going to play this elderly woman.
Well, another book to look at is Ultimate Fantastic Four number 54, and that's the ultimate version of the character. She's a lot younger.
So, given that we're seeing costume changes, even her original costume that you see in the red, that looks like a Halloween one, which kind of goes with the speculation that you were just describing. We're seeing black and white. And I think this contrast matters. I think this is an important part of this show.
Right. Once these realities that she created for herself begin to fall away, you're going to see what is really going on. And I think it's going to be somewhat disturbing. I mean, the Vision.
He's dead, man.
She had to resurrect him. And what is he going to look like? Because when we saw him die and he got the Soul Stone taken from him, he flashed colorless at one point. So the synthesized Vision in West Coast Avengers 45, there's a real good chance that we're going to see the Vision once the reality falls away like that. But we're also going to see little elements of Tom King's run because Kevin Feige said we're going to see this dog Sparky, who shows up in Vision number 6. And also in Vision number 1, the exact outfit that the Vision is wearing.
The same shirt and everything, man.
Yeah,
oh, I got
exactly.
chills, dude. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This type of scale of magic that she has to be utilizing and the problems that we know it's going to cause, there has to be a larger villain, a larger antagonist that would make this possible. And when we're dealing with dark arts, we got to deal with someone who's cunning, someone who's mischievous, someone who wants to take advantage of situations. And I got to just throw this out there. I think Silver Surfer issue number 3 is currently on play. What do you think?
The first appearance of Mephisto. I mean, when you're talking about creating children, I mean, I don't know if she has the ability to do that.
Well, clearly there's something wrong happening, right? Like,
right. To the full degree. So maybe while she's out there knocking on these doors, trying to figure out how to do this so it doesn't collapse on her, she might have made a bargain with a devil like that. And I don't know how she's going to get herself out of the whole situation, because she could be causing huge problems.
Nick, I have an idea. Maybe there's a family member that can help pull her out. I mean, they have to build this show up. I mean, we got to be introduced to something groundbreaking in this television show.
A family member, right? Like Quicksilver or possibly Magneto. If he comes in, you know, maybe look,
Nick,
this is.
Could you imagine though?
Would be awesome. I mean, it's the first. They have to make this an explosive series, and that to end it that way, for him to come in and talk sense into her, would be a pretty cool way to start to introduce the X-Men mythology.
Comic fan, what do you think about this speculation? I mean, are we way too far ahead? Are we way off? Let us know in the comment section below, but not before we touch on the next show that I can't believe they even got footage for. I'm pretty sure they started filming within the last week of us filming this video.
Loki. Look, we didn't know a whole lot about this series yet, but in this short preview, they do this zoom in on his shirt, and he appears to be in prison. And it says TVA, and that stands for Time Variance Authority.
That's right. And this agency, which we'll tell you a little bit about, is first featured in Thor issue number 372. It looks like our favorite miscreant is dabbling in time travel and is going to be reprimanded for it.
Journey into Mystery 622 it's a good time to talk about it. We talked about it a long time ago as it introduced this character, Eichel, right? Which is Loki backwards. It's a future version of Loki. And it was a rumor that now makes sense. If they go through the time travel and he sees himself in the far future as a character that he doesn't want to be, as a god that he doesn't want to be, he could go back and change a lot of his mistakes. And that would include him manipulating the situation by maybe turning into this character or that character, a woman, whatever shape he might take. Because we're not dealing with the Loki that died in Infinity War. We're not dealing with a sort of self-realized character that had gone through these situations and is a better individual because of it. No, we're dealing with the 2012 Loki from the Avengers, who Hiddleston even describes as a desperate and evil character.
That's right. This Loki hasn't gone through his hero's journey yet. We know that Sophia DiMartino has been casted, so we're going to likely be getting a female Loki. He'll probably turn into a kid throughout this whole process. I mean, we're talking Kid Loki. That's been a speculation book for a long time in Thor 617.
And in this scenario, it does make sense. Loki can't be doing shortcuts. He's got to do this the hard way. You know, we saw him do it the hard way. We saw him become a better character in the past 10 years until he was killed in Infinity War. He's going to have to go back to the beginning. And symbolically, as a kid to do it would make sense, but also to team up with the Young Avengers and to join them and learn from them and become a better hero so that he has a better future. It makes sense.
Oh my gosh, we're talking about Young Avengers and Thunderbolts in the same conversation. Comic fam, hit the like button. This is some great news.
And Tom, what about Owen Wilson?
Dude, that's great. We haven't even talked about Owen Wilson yet. What's going on with this?
I think he would make a great older Loki. And when Loki encounters this Eichel character in the future, it's Owen Wilson And Loki doesn't like what's going on. He's like, how did this happen? How did I turn into you? If Owen Wilson is a great actor, he's hilarious, and he could play off a really funny character, and there could be a great dynamic there.
Dude, he's like a A-list. I mean, what better role than another version of Loki?
I mean, it's a possibility. It could be a bunch of different things, but just remember, we're speculating. We're looking at these overarching themes of what could be happening in the future of the MCU.
Comic fam, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe. We make a lot of comic book themed content, and hit that like button. We need your support now more than ever. And as always,
download the free mobile app, Key Collection Comics.
No. The other thing, Nick.
Use promo code Tom101 for a free week.
No. The other thing.
Oh, geek responsibly.
There you go. Enough said. Comic fam, you got 10 days left to sign up to the mystery mail call for February and reserve your Wolverine #1 Comic Tom exclusive by In-Hyuk Lee. You're already going to be buying Wolverine #1. You might as well get your copy from me, as well as a bunch of other books. Link in the description to join.